Hello!
Hello, Vinny.
Hi there.
Vinny!
Hello.
I've got some big news. I've joined a dating app.
You are in the game now, yeah? And we are gonna find you the right girl.
Hello, I'm Sophia Jessica, and welcome to the fan carpet.
Good morning.
Morning. Hey, that's
Good morning. Hey, how are you doing?
good. Thanks. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing well, thank you. Yeah, pleasure to speak to you.
You too. Nice to meet you.
You too. How are you? How are you doing?
I mean, pretty depressed, to be honest. Can't believe we're back in lockdown again.
Yeah.
But we moved. Last time I was like super productive in my lockdown. I was like up at 8 a.m, sending emails, doing all this artwork. And then this time I'm like, TV.
Yeah, but apparently this time it's only going to be for 4 weeks.
Well, they say that, but
Yeah.
who knows? I feel like they'll probably just keep extending it, but hopefully.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we get Christmas.
Let's find a vaccine, so
Well, there was promising news yesterday.
yeah,
So about 90%. So
we pray.
So it's a step in the right direction.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So, all right. So if we go back to the beginning, was there a defining moment for you to get into the film industry?
Wow, okay. To be honest, I have been wanting to be an actor since I was probably about 2 years old. And so I'd like done theatre and stuff all through school, and I hadn't really thought of like film as like even a thing that I would ever be able to do until I kind of went to drama school and we did like screen stuff, and I was like, oh, this is actually a completely different kettle of fish, and I actually really, really love it. So yeah, I guess maybe drama school was when I thought, wow, I can actually do screen acting as like a thing, whereas before I'd always just been like, theatre.
Do you find a difference in the two disciplines?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like a lot of the like theatre training for me, like at drama school, was mainly just about kind of like relaxation in the body and like techniques to like fill a huge room, whereas with screen everything's much more like internal. Obviously in both you still have to like bring truth to your performance, but screen, and it's kind of weird as well because like with theatre you're doing like the entire thing every night consecutively for months, whereas like with film it's like you're doing one tiny bit over and over and over again, and then you move on to the next tiny bit and over again. So there's just so many different elements that make it each one exciting, different.
Yeah, cool. All right. So, what was it about 5 dates that enticed you to get involved?
I'd never like heard of anything like it. Like, obviously, I'd seen Bandersnatch as kind of like this new genre of like interactive film, but the kind of like concept that Paul has of like it being just like a rom-com and like a dating kind, like I love watching like all those dating games. I think there's something so fascinating about watching people meet for the first time. Like everyone's obsessed with it because I guess like the defining thing of our lives is like having relationships and like finding people to love or not love. And so having like an interactive film where you're like have other characters, but you kind of get to like be a part of them and in their journey is just like so cool and exciting, and I've never ever seen anything like it before.
Absolutely. Did you see his first interactive film, The Complex?
The Complex. I don't think I had though, but I've like read a lot about it.
Okay, yeah, because that's pretty cool when I saw it, because that's when I first spoke to him.
Yeah.
I spoke to him yesterday as well for this, but I spoke to him about The Complex a few months ago at the beginning of lockdown, at the first lockdown. Yeah.
He's amazing. Like he literally like conceived this 800-page script in like 2 weeks. I'm like, Paul, how does your brain do this? He's so amazing. So cool.
Yeah, I had similar things with the complex. Obviously, this has got more characters than the complex, and there are more outcomes, I believe, with this one.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So many options.
Yeah, I think there are 10 outcomes this time around.
Right. Okay.
I've unlocked one so far. Yeah, which was cool. But I'm gonna go back and play and carry on. So yeah, and unlock them all.
Oh, so have you been playing it?
Yeah.
What? That's dope. Because it's not out till the 17th. So.
Yeah. I got press access because of these interviews. So yeah, it's always nice to be able to know what you're talking about. Yeah. So how do you relate to Saffron?
I guess so she's kind of like a hipster. She does a lot of yoga and she's a vegan and I lived in Australia for 3 years and everyone in Australia is just like that. So I felt like I could relate to her in a lot of ways. And she's got her reasons, which I will not reveal, for doing the practices that she does, which I really like that as well. It kind of makes her a bit more three-dimensional rather than just being I'm a vegan and all this stuff. It's she has pretty strong reasons as to why she does all that stuff for her own mental health. And people have always thought I was a little bit of a hipster. I've always kind of not done, what all my friends have done, and I've not done what society sets out my path to be. So yeah, I feel like I relate to her on that kind of level. And I'm basically a vegetarian, so.
Okay. Yeah, that's great. Okay, brilliant. So obviously, this being a comedy, do you have any preferred genres and any favorite films?
Wow, you're gonna hit me with the favorite films question. Okay. I do love comedy actually, especially I will say British comedy, just because there's something so raw and gritty and uncomfortable about British comedy that no one else knows how to do. And I do love a good drama. I love period dramas. I'm actually massively into TV series, kind of more than movies in a weird way. I just love that continuity that you get sitting down every night to the same story. What did I just Normal People? I May Destroy You. I just watched I Hate Susie, the Billy Piper new show, which was incredible. I just started The Queen's Gambit because everyone's banging on about that. Yeah, just those kind of series. And I love Baby. It's an Italian Netflix series, and Elite is a Spanish Netflix series. I think the Europeans do these just amazing, really super cool stories as well.
Yeah, plus you get to spend longer with the characters.
Exactly, yeah.
And see how they grow.
Be in that, as an actor, I would love to be in one of these TV shows where you get to constantly just keep coming back and find different aspects of the character. That would be so exciting.
Yeah, we're definitely in a golden age of TV at the moment.
It's so cinematic now as well. It's just the production levels of these shows. It's just The Crown. Incredible.
Absolutely. I haven't watched the new series yet. Apparently that dropped. I think that dropped last week, or it's this week.
Wait, of The Crown?
I think. Has it dropped yet?
Anderson.
Yeah, I know she's in it this year, isn't she?
Yeah.
And they're introducing Princess Diana.
How could I have not known?
Yeah. I think if it wasn't last Friday, it's this Friday.
Oh my gosh, that is so exciting.
Yeah, that'd be cool. So are there any genres that you haven't done yet that you'd like to?
Most genre. I haven't, I actually don't have, so I just left drama school in Australia. Last year I moved to London. So I dropped final year of drama school, and then moved to London, had a year, and then COVID hit. So I have had the most like just, I don't know what the word is, brutal start to my career, as I'm sure many people across the country have. So I've kind of just been like grasping at literally anything I can do. This is kind of my first like big project. I don't know if you've seen my name on the thing is like the only one without credits, and everyone else has these like amazing credits. So to be part of that kind of team for me was just so exciting and such an honor. So yeah, at this point, I will literally do any genre that comes my way.
So obviously this is quite unique in the fact that you had to be your own cinematographer, your own makeup artist, your own everything. So as an actress, I mean, do you thrive in just being thrown into the deep end on these sort of things?
Oh, definitely. Like, I love any kind of adrenaline or any kind of challenge or any kind of pressure like that. It was like stressful, but the team was just, the team just made it for me. Like Paul and Sarah and Alex, everyone was so lovely. Like Taheen, who I was working with, was just like, we're really, really good friends now. Which was like a pretty epic thing to come out of just doing like a couple of Zoom calls over 2 days. We chat all the time, which is so nice. But we all just got on so well and had such good like chemistry, which made it such a sort of fun experience, despite all being in our little houses, just doing everything through Zoom. Although the one weird thing about the filming was like, so because of the like setup of the camera and stuff, which I obviously had to do all myself, and I had to mic myself up and all this stuff. But I basically was like acting to like a black piece of plastic in between an iPhone and my laptop where the rest of the team was. So I never actually got to like act directly to Taheen. I was literally doing everything to this black piece of plastic, that was a challenge for sure, because you're not getting any like feedback of like what the other person is doing. You're just kind of having to go off their voice or like peripheral head movement. Yeah,
absolutely. So that's got, because acting is reacting, so and that's got to be a challenge in itself, to just react to the screen rather than having someone actually there.
100%. And like you just lose all those like small, like even just like someone else's like energy, like you're not feeling like anything. It's a strange thing. It's quite exhausting actually, because your brain is having to work so much harder to like understand the other person's vibe or their physicality or their eye movements, let alone the fact that I wasn't even able to see any of those things because I was just looking at this plastic bit. But it was, what an experience.
So, since you're at the beginning, like in the early stages of your career, are there any other aspects you're looking forward to pursuing?
I really want to get into like TV, as I said, TV series or like feature films, to be honest. And honestly, the theatre's where it all begun for me. So I would love to get back on stage and do some amazing show. I'm just like, let me work. I'm so excited to just like do stuff, and there's like nothing going on. Well, there is stuff going on. I've had mainly just like commercial tapes recently. I haven't had that many like exciting things where I'm like, oh, this is so me, come through. So I really just want to be able to get back out there and grind. Let me work.
Yeah. So who inspires you in the industry?
Wow, another one of these horrible, difficult questions. I have so many like actors for like different reasons. Like for example, like Timothy Chalamet for me is one who like, because he's just so young and like, he's Hollywood and done these like blockbusters, but there's something so raw and vulnerable about the way that he acts. And like for me especially, like vulnerability is something that I really need to work on. Like I tend to put a bit of like a, not like, it's not like confidence or like, I don't know, I just struggle with like being super vulnerable, and like he's just got that down to a T. So he's one of my favorite right now, just because he's, well, yeah, obviously like so young as well. Margot Robbie, because she's an Aussie actress. Obviously I trained in Australia, and she actually came into our drama school to give us all a talk, which was so amazing. She's so beautiful.
Awesome.
Even more beautiful in real life, if you can believe it. And she, what was I gonna say? So she's another one, like as a woman, she's never done the same character twice, and she's like broke out as being like just basically the hottest person in the world, but then has pretty much never played like the hot, beautiful girl since, even though, I guess Sharon Taylor's like kind of that, but she's always done like super weird, like really intense character kind of acting, which I think is quite rare for like women to get a chance to play such like variation of roles that she's been able to do in such a short period of time. I'm very jealous of that.
Absolutely. And she got a start on Neighbours, so I've been a fan of hers for a long time. She was Donna on Neighbours, which was great.
My friend's in Home and Away right now, which is like the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, that's great. So obviously, as we spoke about this before, the UK has just entered a second lockdown. How's that affected the way you work?
Well, it's completely gotten rid of my motivation. Yeah, it's really sad. I was like, as I said before, I was like so just like motivated last time, and like it was like a really nice breath for me to just like sit down, and I basically like emailed every single casting director in London in the last lockdown, like, hello, it's me. And I was just like smashing it out. I was doing so much research. I was like figuring out what shows they'd casted and if I was right for them, and then I'd like send my thing off. And like I also do graphic design and like illustration on the side, and I was doing like big illustration projects and raising money for the NHS. And then this time I'm just like feel so like sort of disheartened and just like I don't know what the point is of all this anymore, and when is it ever gonna, I think it feels a little bit like there's no light at the end of the tunnel. I don't know if that's just me being pessimistic. It probably is. I just don't want to go back to working out in my living room. It's so depressing.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna give myself 1 week of this, and then I'm gonna be back on it. I'm gonna do monologues. I'm gonna be reading plays. I'm actually writing scripts. So I'm writing 2 scripts with 2 actor friends. One is like a spin-off of this like 2-minute scene we did together where we had these like super crazy characters, and so we're just gonna do a couple more of them. And then another one is like a feature film that I'm writing with another actor friend, and that's a pretty crazy story as well. So that's keeping me ticking along, just writing stuff.
Awesome. Are you allowed to say what genre they are, or is that close to the best?
The first one is definitely comedy for sure. I'm like a Northern Irish gangster, and he's like a London like street boy, and it's just us just like clashing heads about like ridiculous things, basically like a drug deal gone wrong pretty much. And then the other one is gonna be kind of like a drama thriller kind of vibe. I always like to inject a bit of comedy into my stuff. Just yeah.
Awesome. So is there a book that you're a fan of that hasn't been adapted to film or TV or Netflix yet that you'd love to be a part of?
Ooh. You know, it's so weird that you said that, because I just literally last year finished Rebecca, and then Rebecca came out on Netflix. I was like, you're joking. Oh no, I know. Suicide Blonde.
Okay.
What's her name? It's by Darcy Stank. And it was like I think it was in the 80s. It was like a feminist cult book that came out. I hadn't actually heard of it until I bought it. But it's the way it's written is so visual, it's just like gagging to be made into a movie. Not so much a series, actually. I think that's probably more of a movie vibe, but yeah, I would love to be in that.
Brilliant. All right, so obviously with the popularity of streaming services, I mean, they seem to be the lifeblood at the moment of the industry. What do you think the future of cinema is?
Oh, you know, with these things, I don't know, like, obviously, like, that's going back to Rebecca again, not that I actually enjoyed it that much, but I did notice that there were these, like, huge, you know, buses going by with movie posters, but it's just a Netflix show, which, like, blew my mind. That was, like, pretty crazy. But I do think with these things, like, people always go back to wanting to go to the cinema. You know, like, we'll have this period of, like, needing to be in our bedrooms and it's so easy to just watch stuff, but then we just lose that sense of, like, community and, like, shared experience of, like, going out and enjoying a movie and, like, seeing it on the huge screen. And I do think people will always hopefully want to do that, just because I think it's we lose a sense of community in, like, literally everything that we do now. Everything is so insular. Everything's my own phone, my own playlist, my own, you know, Instagram. Everything's me, and, like, if those things disappear, like, at least, like, theater, you know, will always have to be a shared kind of experience. But yeah, I hope that it doesn't just all turn to streaming devices, because that'd be really sad.
Absolutely. And just finally, what are you hoping audience will take away from 5 Dates when they get a chance to see it or play it? I still haven't worked out what that terminology is.
yeah, true. I just hope that they'll have, like, I think we all need a bit of love and connection, especially now during lockdown, when, like, physical connection is sort of out the window, and we're always striving to find connection, and this is about new connections. And I think that's always such an exciting thing to sort of watch unfold, whether in your own life or someone else's life. You know, even just stuff like Love Island and First Dates and all these shows, like, I do think, like, humans just, like, meeting for the first time is always going to be just, like, a beautiful, exciting thing, no matter kind of how it turns out. I think it will always be really fascinating, and I hope that people will laugh and find it. I think also with, like, it's quite rare to have, like, a fun, like, love-based game. Like, games are very often about, like, killing, shooting, winning, you know, and this is, like, about love in a way, and finding, you know, compatibility and chemistry in other people. And I think that's what we need right now more than anything.
Yeah, we absolutely do. Well, this has been wonderful. You're great to speak to, and I look forward to whatever you do next. And I'll keep an eye out on those 2 projects that you're writing.
Oh, thank you.
They sound cool.
Lovely to meet you, Marc.
You too. Take care of yourself. Look after yourself. Bye.
Thank you for watching The Fan Carpet. Please follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram for more content next time.
So let's see how much more there is.
If lockdown was a game, you'd be winning it.
Callum, do you actually want to date me?
Get off. Get off. How do I hang this up? Get off.
I'm here on the largest of the Balearic Islands, Mallorca. With the turquoise waters of the Mediterranean Sea, beautiful mountainous landscape, the thriving city of Palma, quaint little market towns, a growing number of luxury hotels, it's no surprise that the likes of Audrey Hepburn and Elizabeth Taylor like to holiday here. So come and join me as I take you round Mallorca.
Thank you for watching The Fan Carpet. If you like this video, be sure to click that thumbs up button at the bottom of your screen. And also be sure to subscribe to the Fan Carpet YouTube channels. They're absolutely free and so much fun too. Be sure to check out the official website, thefancarpet.com. Also, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to stay up to date with reviews, competitions, the latest news, and so much more.